What's up, everybody? Welcome on into this edition of Warchant TV. I'm Aslan Hajavandi, joined by recruiting analyst for Warchant.com, Michael Langston. It's the ultimate Seminoles sports source. Use the promo code Warchant30 for 30 free days of access to the website. Michael, recruiting is something that we always talk about when you and I are together. It's something we mentioned on the podcast earlier this week with myself and Corey Clark. People want to see the big name recruits start to pile into Mike Norvell and the Florida State program. They got a 4-star earlier today in Hunter Washington. What can you tell us about this recruit out of Texas?
Yeah, it's a big pickup because they needed some momentum, as you guys alluded to. I mean, they're in the 40s. People are freaking out, like, what's going on? Like, is this guy a terrible recruiter or not? But Hunter Washington was a kid from Katy, Texas. He's 6 foot, about 180. He's a guy that in the Rivals 250, I believe, 157. So, and he's a guy that is an explosive, aggressive corner. When you watch him play, this guy, he takes a lot of chances, gets a lot of picks. I think he finished with over 6 picks a year ago. Plays with a high motor and is very technically sound when you watch his game. Great back pedal. He gets into his back pedal really quick and explodes into the receiver. My only concern with him would be, when you get in the college level, if you bite on those things, on those up and outs, stop and goes, people are going to, they're going to catch him sneaking in there, and you can't be as aggressive probably as he is now. His cover skills remind me a lot of Asante Samuel coming out of high school, who is expected to be the starting cornerback for FSU. He does a lot of things that Asante does. He's got great instincts, can see the field really well, reads the quarterback very well, and when he sees the play, he goes for it, and he explodes to the play. And you can see that on all his clips. He is right on top of the receiver. And the thing I love is, most teams in Texas, we know about the gaudy numbers that these quarterbacks put up as throwing the ball. So you got to know he gets a lot of opportunities to make plays and going against a lot of passing teams. So I certainly like that a lot as far as about his game. And you want to see more from him as a tackler. There's some things that I've seen as far as tackling, but I want to see more physicality, more tackling that I usually have watched. But I think it's a tremendous pickup for FSU, and is the momentum that they exactly need, especially getting a kid from the state of Texas that's very popular from a power school like Katy, Texas.
Yeah, man, Katy, that's big time football, especially in Texas. So, Michael, how was this staff able to? When did they identify him? Did he ever make it on campus before things went sideways? It's just it's tough to pull kids out of power programs in the state of Texas. How did the staff get Hunter Washington on board?
Well, the thing with him is he has a very good connection with Marcus Woodson. He's very close to him. I think he worked out for Woodson when he was at Auburn. So the two know each other. He's visited with him. He knows what his expectations are. He knows, I think, also Norvell, because Norvell is very familiar with the state of Texas and knows a lot of kids from that state of Texas. So I think he hasn't visited yet, but he's very comfortable with everything that this staff offers. He was actually expected to visit in the spring, but that kind of slowed up because of the pandemic, because he was actually going to be on campus several times, but just different things got in the way. But and it's not uncommon where I've seen a kid commit to a school that he hasn't visited yet. But I think Hunter was so sold on the culture and the way he's going to be used, and their need at cornerback, and their need to add guys that where he can come in there and make a significant impact as a freshman. I think FSU was the place that he just fell in love with, that was just perfect in every way.
Yeah, man, 6 foot, 175. That's good size for an emerging senior cornerback in the high school ranks. So, Michael, I mean, you mentioned momentum. It's going to be tough to really stack things on top of one another without having kids on campus here. But just this is a shot of much needed good news for, I don't know, maybe so much for Mike Norvell in the program, but at least for Florida State fans that follow recruiting very closely.
Yeah, I think Mike and Coach Norvell's felt really good about, I told people when we did our chat last week that there's a lot of guys and several guys that they feel good about, and this is one of those kids. And so I think they feel good about their standard of where they're at in their recruitments, where they're at, just because they don't have the public verbal doesn't mean that they haven't told the staff or indicated to the staff that, hey, I'm coming. So I think they feel good about where they stand. But as you said, as you alluded to, it's a big shot in the arm for them as far as momentum, where everyone sees it. It's a national recruit. It's a guy that a lot of schools wanted, a lot of top schools wanted, and it gives them their first big, commitment going after the pandemic. And it's a big deal as far as building excitement. I think it's more of excitement and recruiting excitement and recruiting momentum for them as far as this. I think FSU feels really good about what their class is going to be, but I think adding him is a big deal as far as from the national scene of things.
For sure. As you see right there on your screen, folks, he'll be the 6th commitment. Brandon Jennings, a 4-star. Luke Altmaier, another 4-star. So say what you will about the recruiting prowess right now of the staff. When they do get blue chip guys, they have a lot of upside and lots of great potential. Altmaier and Jennings, we know. And then as Michael just talked about with Hunter Washington. Do stay connected with the very latest on this commitment for Florida State's class. All your recruiting news over on the Premium Recruiting Board, courtesy of our own Michael Langston. Use that promo code WARCHANT30 if you're not already a member. Mike, thanks for your time as always, man.
All right. You got it, man.